against the clock. Go, don't stop. We against the clock.
Makes no difference what you're going through. You're gonna make it.
Somebody say one day. One day, while he was on Damascus, he was on his high horse, but God knocked him off that high horse. I don't know about you, but some of us have had situations in our life, and I've had mine too, where I thought I was all this, and I thought I was all that. But you get to a place when God is going to transform you, he's going to knock you right on your you know what. If anybody here beside me that had God knock you down on your stuff, and God knocked him down, and in that moment a light came from heaven and a personal transformation, somebody said transformation, came over Paul, and God called him, take from Saul to Paul. What am I saying to you? That God is in the business of transforming your life. There was a song that says, I moved from my old house, and I moved from my old friends, and I moved from my old way of life. Thank God I moved out, and I'm moving into a brand new life. Somebody say amen. But you got to keep it 100. Somebody say keep it 100. I like what the old folks used to say. There was an old song the old folks used to say, I'm satisfied. Satisfied with Jesus. Yes, I'm satisfied. He said he'd be my comfort. He said he'd be my God. I looked at my hands. My hands looked new. I looked at my feet. And my day did too. And ever since that wonderful day, how many of y'all remember the day when you got saved? The day that you gave your life to Christ. The day that you gave your life to Jesus. Tell your neighbor, say, I ain't never been the same. My soul has been satisfied. God is explaining to the people, this is what I want to see. But in order for me to see it, tell somebody you got to keep it 100. But you got to understand that not only a personal transformation, but then God says, I want to see a public demonstration. Verses 6 and 7, he says this. He said, I want you to give your bread to the hungry. I want you to feed the poor. And I want you to bring the poor into your house. If you see somebody naked, cover him. And don't hide your flesh from your own brothers. You got to understand that God is saying to his people, listen, I want you to publicly demonstrate the love I gave to you. I want you now to share that love with somebody else. See, one thing about God that I have learned, and I know some of you have learned, is this. You may be right, but God says this. God will never get anything to you unless he sees he can get it through you. God will never give anything to you unless he can see he can get it through you. In other words, you and I are blessed to be a blessing. So when God looks down on his people fasting and praying, God is evaluating you and me. Said, if I bless Brother Dante, can I get the blessing through him? If I bless Deacon Pender, can I bless and get the blessing through him? Somebody say amen. If I bless Minister Wilson, can I get the blessing through him? And I just want to announce some of us, the reason why, that there might be reasons why that God is not responding and God has blocked the blessing is because God knows if I bless you, you'll keep it for yourself. But look at your neighbor and say, he can get it through me, baby. I just want to let God, I'm going to let him just, if he give it to me, come on, it's yours. I just want you to look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, if I got it, you can have it. Because God just gave it to me. I'm just a steward over it. I'm just going to give it. If God blessed me with it, come on, if I got 2 cars, you need 1 car, guess what? Go ahead and take the other car. And I ain't going to give you no hoopty either. I'm going to give you one that run. Look at your neighbor and say, I'm going to give you one that run. Come on, somebody. He wants to understand. He said this, I want you to break the chains of injustice. I want you to get rid of exploitation. I want you to free the oppressed. I want you to share your food with the hungry. I want you to share your homes with the homeless. I want you to put clothes on the naked. I want you to be available to your family. Somebody say public demonstration. The children of Israel were really upset with God because they wouldn't understand why God was not moving in their life. It's because God saw that when I blessed you, you were not blessing others. But the last time I checked, you can't have your cake and eat it too. The last time I checked, you can't get a paycheck if you don't show up to work. Somebody said you can't expect God to bless you if you're not willing to be a blessing. Is there anybody here that's willing to be a blessing? Say, Lord, use me to be a public demonstration of the love of God. And you got to understand. The reason why God don't bless us is because we're not willing to be a public demonstration. We don't show no love. We don't show no mercy. We don't show no forgiveness to anybody. Whatever we want, gifts from God, but we don't want to give to God. We want presents from God, but we don't want his presence in our life. We want prayer at the altar, but we don't want the God of God to alter our lives. But you got to understand that God is like a seamstress and a tailor, that once you come into his kingdom, he's going to take your measurements. And when he take your measurements, my brothers and sisters, there are certain things that you used to wear. He said, you can't wear that. I'm about to tell you right. Let's see, I'm going to check your chest, I'm going to check your height, I'm going to check your inseam, I'm going to check your neck. Why? Because now you're in a new place. Somebody shout glory. And when God gets ready, he wants to get ready, because once he bless you, he wants to let you know that I want you to be a blessing. Somebody that wants to be a blessing ought to clap their hands and say, keep it 100. Yeah! Somebody said, keep it 100. And maybe God is not blessing us, not just because of a personal transformation, but because of a public demonstration. But I came to announce to somebody that it's in my heart, and I know it's in your heart, that you don't want God to withhold no blessings in your life. So when God leads you to do a public demonstration, just say, here you go, baby. Listen, I got 2 sandwiches, you take 1. Come on. I just take it because if God bless me, I have decided that I'm going to be a blessing. Is there anybody here on this morning that wants to be a blessing? Jump up on your feet and say, Lord, use me to be a blessing. I'm not going to keep no blessings to myself. Whatever you bless me with, God, I'm going to be a public demonstration.
The gift that looks good on you.
You were born with a grace.
The gift that looks good on you.
That grace is your gift. Yeah.
The gift that looks good on you.
It's a divine enablement.
The gift that looks good on you.
If you work your grace, the grace will work for you. Company, teach the lesson.
The systems of the world will try to take your confidence.
Yes, they will.
For these systems were designed to make you doubt what heaven said.
Don't you doubt.
The systems of the world
These systems
will try to take your confidence.
Yes, they will.
For these systems